What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 181. And we start today's episode off with a brief look at Ollie Shaw, who this season has grown 2 ratings to 91 overall and has 13 assists plus 3 goals in 25 games in all competitions, and is a big reason as to why Leverkusen right now sit top of the table in the Bundesliga with 12 games to go. Ollie Shaw this season has elevated his game to a new level, and you just love to see it. It's been amazing this year, and with 6 assists in his last 4 games in all competitions, just had to give him a real brief shout out for the first game of today's episode, which is away at the Volkspark Stadion, as we take on one of my former career mode sides, Hamburg, here in a Friday night clash in the Bundesliga, where if we were to win this game, we would make a real statement with 11 games remaining that we will be top of the table by 3 points, and we are here to stay. So huge game on the back of our win just a few days prior to this one away in Spain against Bilbao in the Champions League. Had to come through and make it 5 wins out of 5 in all competitions and get a big victory here. So Hamburg, first opponents of today's episode, and the first chance fell inside the first 10 minutes as well, with Arnie Meyer finding that man at the moment, Ollie Shaw, as he sprints down the left, rolls it back to Arnie, lovely ball across the Kurzweg, he finds Ivan Toney. And speaking of former Sheffield United players, we know how good Shaw's been this season, we know how good Walsh has been this season, but Ivan Toney, it is crazy to think that this season he's having his lowest goal scoring season per game than he had in his past few years, because he's still been amazing this year. He opens the scoring, makes it 1-0, and already with our first chance of the game, he makes it 1-0, and in the 21st minute, he makes it 2. Ivan Toney smacks it in and says to his younger brother, you might be in fine form right now, and I let you have the spotlight in the last episode, but listen, we all know who's the star of the show here. It's me, the shocker, as he makes it 2-0, and I love this goal as well. Just watch this on the replay if you didn't see it first time. Look at Kurzweg here, signalling for the ball when he gives it to Ivan Toney. It reminds me of that Kaka clip. He was playing with an Adidas sponsored event last month. I think it was at the Hackney Marshes in London, playing a 5-a-side game with Adidas, and I'm sure you guys have seen it. For those that haven't, I'll try and find a video. But there's a clip where Kaka goes on the run, and then this lad is going, Kaka, pull it back, mate, pull it back, and Kaka just bangs one out top corner. It reminded me of that. Kurzweg's like, Ivan, pull it back, mate, and Toney just smacks it in and makes it 2. It's 2-0 Leverkusen, and to be fair to Ivan, he was just on it in the first half. You could have had a first half an hour hat-trick there as he put that shot just wide of the post, but just before the break, he would get his third goal and claim the match ball, and a first half hat-trick before the 45th minute mark. Ball rolled through to him. I'm not sure why he's showing respect. Maybe it's because he's taken on a former career mode team of mine. However, it is Hamburg 0, Bayer Leverkusen 3, and Toney could have had 4 goals at this point, but that's his third. And honestly, man, I said it briefly in the last episode after the late game winner against Schalke. He's my hero, he's my mate, and I honestly don't think I have had a better goal scorer in any save I've ever done than Ivan Toney. The only player that comes close to me is Yang. Ivan Toney is just absolutely ridiculous. I mean, he doesn't even need a touch there. Ball's rolled into him. He's under immense pressure, and he somehow managed to wrap his boot around the ball with very little space and pick out the bottom corner with Terminator-style vision. It's just ridiculous, man. So Hamburg 0, Leverkusen 3, but it became 4 early on into the second half, where once again we scored a corner. We scored 2 goals from corners this season. That's the secret. By players that are 6'5" or taller. Leandro at 6'6", we brought him in to be an aerial monster, and at his second goal of the season, he scored both our goals from corners as he makes it Hamburg 0, Leverkusen 4. You saw the cameras pan to me there after the goal. I was celebrating every goal in this game like it was our first. I wanted to make a statement in this game, be absolutely ruthless, and show Bayern Munich, Borussia Dortmund, and RB Leipzig we are going to win this title this season, and we have right now got destiny in our own hands. Final score, Hamburg 0, Leverkusen 4. We probably should have won it by more goals, really. We had the chances in this game and dominated possession as well, but in the final stage of the match, I kind of did conserve energy a little bit. Knocked the ball around and played for possession, pass accuracy, and also conserving player energy as well. But either way, 4-0 was the final score. Big thumping victory on Friday night as RB Leipzig did the same there, beating Freiburg by 4-0. And as we now into March, you can see our fixtures for the calendar month. We've got Stuttgart at home, Hoffenheim away, Hanover away, the second leg against Bilbao, and then a huge, absolutely huge game against Wolfsburg, who right now are the outsiders for the title, with with 11 games to go. They are 9 points behind us right now, as we still sit top of the tree on goal difference ahead of Borussia Dortmund by +5 goals. Bayern Munich only 2 points behind the pair of us, and RB Leipzig only 3 points behind us as well. It is crazy to think with 11 games to go, anyone in the top 6 could be crowned champions come the end of the season. Wolfsburg, of course, are the rank outsiders, but I'd say that you can't even rule them out right now. They're still only behind us on single digits, so you can't rule out anyone in the top 6 from winning the title. But as we know, destiny is in our own hands, as well as Borussia Dortmund's too. We both lead the way right now with 56 points, and Bayern Munich only 2 points behind as well. It's really anyone's guess as to who's crowned champions come the end of the season. But if we keep on winning and win by enough goals, then the silverware will be ours come the end of the campaign. Still, for the second of 3 games in today's episode, we will now welcome Stuttgart to the Bayer Arena. Very few days rest in between games here. We have like 4 games in the space of 10 days, including our trip to Spain against Bilbao in the Champions League, which started this little run of games in succession off. So a lot of players were not exactly fully fit for the games here, but taking on Stuttgart, feeling very confident. First early chances falling to us, and 13 minutes in, my goodness gracious me, Ivan Toney has done it once again. Denied just a few minutes ago by Pacheco, but both of these goals, both of his shots I should say, were created by his trademark signature move. The dummy through the legs. Like I said before, it's like LeBron James's spin move when he gets into the paint. It's so hard to stop. Takes out a defender, and whilst he didn't get it right the first time and Pacheco denied him for the second goal, look at how clean of a strike that was, and he was running off to celebrate before the ball had hit the back of the net. Ivan Toney has now got goal number 20 in the Bundesliga as he takes the lead in the race for the Golden Boot. I'm not sure he's going to reach 30 goals this season. He didn't last year with Atletico. I believe he got 29. However, he's had a really good campaign this season as he makes it 1-0. But in the 36th minute, Stuttgart would find themselves a leveller here after their first shot was well saved by Lunin, but the rebound turned in. However, for the second time in 3 or possibly 4 games, we've seen the linesman flag save us. Tomiyasu steps up at a vital moment, and the referee does indeed rule the goal out correctly for offside. But honestly, that's a worrying sign for us here. Twice we could have conceded a goal, but the linesman's flag bailed us out on both times. And in the end, that was how the game would finish. Nothing went on in the second half. I mean literally nothing. Not a single shot was recorded in the second half as the game finished Leverkusen 1, Stuttgart 0, as we grind out the victory by just a single goal. And after our huge thumping victory last Friday night away against Hamburg, well, that was a bit of a disappointing victory. It was a win regardless, but it was quite a tough game, that one. But the most important thing was we came through with the 3 points there and we stay top of the table. But I must say this right now, there were some nervy signs in that game, particularly towards the end of the game where Stuttgart were piling on the pressure a little bit but couldn't break us down with the final ball. And don't think that even though we're top right now, we're going to waltz our way to the title. No way. Even when taking on the smaller teams, as you saw a couple episodes ago, it can be very difficult to get all those 3 points. Still, for our third and final game of today's episode, we stay in the Bundesliga, but once again go away from home as we end off this mini spell of several games in just a few days, where we take on Hoffenheim away from home, where, as you can see by the lineup, there was the return of one Barry Walsh. Yes, the Northern Irish Cam is back in our lineup for the first time in over 2 months since that broken toe he suffered at the start of December. So glad to see Walsh back. Would he get straight back to his good form that he showed in the start of the season, or would it take some while for him to get back to his form? Well, we'd find out today here away against Hoffenheim, where to begin the game off, I couldn't get any chances or even close to their goal. Hoffenheim were dominating possession in the first half with 61% of it, and they had the early opportunities. And had it not been for Lunin in this game, wearing the captain's armband in place of Kurzweg, they would have been in front. He made a couple of big saves, one in the first half and one in the second half, and I couldn't get any chance at all in this game, as we are still tied at 0-0 with 18 minutes to go, with no chance at all. We had one opportunity, and Ollie Shaw, oh yes, oh yes, oh yes, Ollie Shaw breaks the deadlock, and with our only chance of the game. This is why we're training is finishing. He's shown this season he can score them. 3 goals in all competitions now becomes 4 in all competitions as Barry Walsh on his return gets the assist as the Blades boys link up for the opener. Great ball by Walsh, and Shaw holds off his man, and what a strike in off the underside of the crossbar. Oliver Shaw this season is just on fire. Not just with his assists, it's his best goal scoring season in professional football, and with 17 minutes to go, one chance, one shot, one goal. Ollie Shaw wins it for Leverkusen and makes it 1-0. With 8 minutes to go, a chance to make it 2 and wrap the points up. Daniel Kurzweg off the bench finds Zabala. He rolls it through to Toney, and he's done it once again. 2 goals in 2 games with the trademark dummy through the legs. You can't stop it. And the Blades boys, in a huge game away against Hoffenheim, where we couldn't create any chances, they proved to be the difference. Barry Walsh setting up the first goal scored by Ollie Shaw, and for our second goal, the future Steve Zabala rolling it through to the shocker, and our top scorer gets goal number 21 in the Bundesliga this season with a clean, crisp strike into the top corner as he makes it Hoffenheim 0 by Leverkusen 2. And like I said pre-game, don't think we're going to waltz to the title. We might have recorded back-to-back wins, but both of these games were very difficult ones. I don't think we deserved to win this game. I really don't. It was tough, it was grueling, but we grind out the 3 points courtesy of the Blades boys. Ollie Shaw, Barry Walsh and Ivan Toney ensure that with 9 games to go, we remain top of the table, but only on goal difference. But that was today's episode of Career Mode, guys. So a big thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed it, and if you did enjoy today's episode, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode of Career Mode, featuring the second leg of the Champions League against Bilbao very soon.